Okay, cool. So I guess where we're up to, I've got like the little list up here, but I presume
Oh, yep.
like, are we really? I mean, we're fairly way down here. I guess I'm not sure if this is up to
We
date.
probably don't need that anymore. Yeah, I've got it too.
Cool.
Can probably start taking stuff on the end though.
Um,
All right.
so so the main thing here. So I've got this page. Whoops. First. So this was just what I put up on the wiki a little while ago, and this is just the output from the CloudFormation stack thing, just all organized in a sort of nice way,
Okay.
and some other stuff. Basically, everything that we need to connect to the blockchain is here, which is nice. So if you've got Parity or Open Ethereum installed
I
or
I
accessible,
have. Yes, I do.
so this is what it'll look like once we connect. It's pretty straightforward. So, yeah, the main thing, I'll just go here. And so we're just going to grab this chain spec URL. That's the main first thing. Just download that. So, if you open that up, you'll just see that it's pretty straightforward. It's just a normal chain spec.
All right. Give me a sec. Okay. Right. So what was that? This is that's one that one there. Okay. So I need to open that file, which is
So we don't need to open it. I'm just opening it to sort of show what's in it.
yeah. I want to have a look at it too.
Yep. It's pretty straightforward. The main thing is there's some accounts that are pre-populated with balances. So these correspond to the accounts that the CloudFormation stack uses. They're split up for like contract deployment, for membership management, that sort of thing. And then there are other accounts, these other two accounts in the validators thing here at the top. So the current the current setup is not super great for adding more validators in future, but because we haven't launched a mainnet, we can always update this as we go to an actual sort of contract managing that. But in essence, at the top under engine authority round, we've got the two addresses that are our chain validator node things.
So that's under engine authority round. Where are they?
So,
engine authority round params. Oh, okay. Params. Validators multi. Oh, there it is. It's way in there. Okay. Yep. So what are those two accounts then?
yep. So they're accounts that were generated on the. We've got there's 4 nodes running in this thing. There's 2 consensus nodes and 2 public nodes. The idea being that consensus nodes only connect to the public nodes, and then the public nodes, bootstrap the network.
Okay.
So
the public nodes are the ones that are accessible externally.
So there's these. Yep. So there's 4 accounts. These addresses and accounts are all generated in advance. So they're loaded onto the nodes, sort of on first run or something like that.
Okay.
Yep. So the next thing, if we've got that, now we don't actually need to run a thing locally, but it's sort of good for the exercise. So I've got an what do you call it? An older version of Parity. But the command, can you see that fine, by the way?
Yeah, I can see it. Yep.
Yep. So it's just parity --chainspec.json, and you just go enter, and that's pretty much it. So it'll give you a warning at the top about like not enough consensus nodes or validator nodes, and then it just says, yep, starting the thing. Here's your data stuff, etc., etc. And then after a moment, it should say that we're connected.
So will this start syncing the chain?
Yep. There's not many blocks in the chain because the settings for mining are only to create new blocks when transactions are available. And so basically, if we had this running for a month, then we'd have, like a few megabytes of empty blocks. So it's sort of like, what's the point?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
So
well, I'd like to try that too. So
Yeah.
I just need to download this. I've already done it. Downloaded the JSON file. So I will take this and I'll put it in my working directory. And then I should be able to do the same thing. Always takes longer than you expect.
I think it actually, like if we had more debug logs, it would show more about progress and stuff. But I think it syncs incredibly quickly, and then we're just waiting for the status outputs, like it says peers and stuff like that.
Right, so I go open Ethereum, and then just
Dash chain space, and then the path to the to that JSON file.
to the JSON file, which was chainspec.json. All right, here we go. All right, so it's brought some stuff up saying public node, enode, blah, 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 blah. Not preparing block, cannot sign. It's sitting there on that. That's good, is it?
Yeah, so that's like one of the just one of the things it says during configuration. I've got under that configured for Flux app dev POA network. Oh yeah, then not preparing block cannot sign, so I've got that twice. And then at the end it says public node URL blah. I've got a 172 address here because I'm running it from inside Windows Subsystem for Linux 2, which is a VM. But you might you'll see.
Yep. So it's running now. The messages were in a different order to the ones that you have, interestingly, but it's now saying 4 of 25 peers, blah 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 blah. So it looks like it's syncing.
Yep. So because there's only like 20 blocks on this thing, right? So there's not much. What we can do is I can what do you call it? Give us a block. We'll just do that. So confirm. Okay, pending, and then you should see imported number 28.
Yeah, I see it too.
There we go.
Oh hey!
So
awesome.
The next thing that I suppose is makes sense is if you want to, or if you've got MetaMask there or something like that. Well, MetaMask particularly I've been using. We can add a new remote or a new RPC to to thing. So it works for local, but I'm not sure about your setup. So you could try that. Oh, sorry. One of the things that we need to do is I think by default Parity doesn't or Open Ethereum doesn't bind JSON HTTP ports.
Oh, okay. So we have to turn that on.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons that the public nodes are there is they've got the JSON things on.
So probably an extra parameter, is it, to turn that on?
There's a few. So what we want, we want JSON RPC port, JSON RPC hosts, JSON RPC, or well, that's the thing, cause, and I think there's where's the interface one? Oh, interface. Yeah. So let's see what the minimum is. So binding the interface to 0000 will bind it to everything. You could do localhost as well. I've got to do this because I don't know with the WSL network config.
I'm just copying everything you're doing. Cause to main.
So I think all is the keyword for cause and hosts. I just put spaces in there because you can do both.
So space all.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this I think is from memory is what I need to do. But I'm not certain. So I'm just going to try and check that now. Okay. No. Okay. So on this machine, I haven't run the thing. So.
Alright, I've got something wrong here.
It's complaining, is it, about the thing?
Yeah, I've typed something wrong.
Oops, sorry if that was. I'll just paste this into Discord for you.
Oh, perfect.
So you might need to replace parity with Open Ethereum. I've confirmed that it works fine with Open Ethereum, or at least all the my early testing and whatever else seemed perfectly fine.
What? Except I've got lines installed as Open Ethereum. Let's see. All right. Okay, so let's start it up again. So now we'll go back to MetaMask, I suppose, and we're going to create a custom RPC to connect
Yep.
to the local node.
So I just put in HTTP localhost 8545 with the dots, the colons and the slashes and stuff.
Yep.
Didn't put a slash at the end. I'm not sure if that matters. Yeah, and that connected to mine straight away.
All right, so it's HTTP, I guess, not HTTPS.
Yeah, no, just HTTP // localhost 8545.
8545.
With the port number, of course, but yep. Or with the...
Yep.
Yep.
The port number is 8545.
And then I just went connect and
that's it.
And it should spin for half a second and then come up.
Well, it's not complaining.
So I had to get out of the network menu again and then go back, and on this account where I've prepared a balance, yeah, it all worked, or I've got the balance, so that's my...
Okay, it's showing me a little question mark. Should I have a balance? Would I have a balance?
No, you'll have 0 because
Yeah.
none of your addresses have been seen before, right? I'm about to send you something.
Okay, all right. Well, it's running and it's not complaining. It's showing a funny little question mark up the top.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, if you share your display with me, I might be able to shed light. But oh, you mean next to on my label here on Flux test, there's a little question mark on the MetaMask.
Yes, there it is. We've got it too. Yep.
Yeah,
I don't know what that indicates.
I think that's just saying I don't know what this chain is. It's not Ethereum, it's not Ropsten, it's not
right.
It's not whatever else.
Good.
Because the chain ID is 250 million or something like that. All right, if you want to maybe create a new address or use the same one, doesn't bother me. But send me an address in Discord and I will send you some.
Okay, here's an address.
Fake ether.
All right, I can hardly wait.
Cool. So now I get this what do you call it? This bad block thing occasionally, and so it says future timestamp in header, and I'm pretty sure it's just that there's some what do you call it, rule about timestamps and things. I'm not exactly sure why this is happening on my system though.
It's a very common issue. It just needs, your time needs to be slightly different from one of the other nodes and freaks out a bit. But I've got the 10 ETH, so it's worked.
Cool.
All right.
Looks like mine has worked,
So,
except that now it says 0 peers, but hopefully that'll come back.
Okay, great.
Cool.
This is good. Is this how many nodes have you got on your server?
Well, there's 4 running publicly. Otherwise, this is the only one I'm running at the moment, I think.
Okay.
I had one running on a Raspberry Pi the other day that was working fine.
Oh, really?
It's not like it's particularly a heavy application at this point, right? It's
No.
several kilobytes. So did you get the bad block thing, by the way? Or was that just me?
I'll just check. No, I didn't get a bad block.
Weird. I wonder if it's anything to do with WSL running in a VM and any Linux and Windows use the different UTC type things, and so anyway, I wonder if that's got anything to do with it.
Don't know.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay, that's good. So we have a node and we can connect to it quite easily.
yep. So
That's good. Good start.
the I'm not exactly sure the best way these days to access a contract on the fly, but I presume that my Ether wallet would still work.
Should still work. I use Remix generally.
Oh yeah, if we can use what do you call it? So I had what do you call it? I found the new interface a little bit unintuitive when I came here the other day.
Yeah. It looks good, but it's a little bit hard to find your way around.
Particularly because you got to like add in. I mean, whatever I loaded up the other day, it didn't come with like the add-on things weren't there. So like the compiler add-on and stuff like that, which was a little bit confusing.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got to go to the file, but first you got to connect it to your file system with Remix Remix D.
Oh, there's like a. So
If you wanted, you don't have to do that, of course.
no, yeah. I mean, I was just I mean, if I just go into the deploy and run transactions, and then
Oh
choose
yeah.
inject a Web3, it looks like it works fine.
Yep, that'll work.
I'm sure we could go Web3 provider as well, but that looks like too much work when I've got something working.
Yeah. No, it's yeah.
So what we can do is we can start traversing things now, I suppose. So for the sake of completion, if you like, we can start from the democracy index and go through the whole thing.
Wow. Okay.
So the address that we want is on that blockchain info wiki page. I can paste it to you as well, but the under O index ADDR, the O's stands for output. So it's an output of the CloudFormation stack. Now I don't know how we actually load this with the
So you want to load a specific contract, so it needs the source code on here. So you can just
ABI,
paste
isn't it?
it in. Oh yeah, it probably is. Yep. Sorry, you've done that already, have you?
Just that is like I know the ABIs. So pasting the source code in. One of the issues with that is all of the dependencies and stuff in all these files. There is a a flattened version of the Solidity file, which is what we have to use for like Etherscan, the verification thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know where that is.
Oh, I see.
I mean, it's going to be somewhere, but I know where the ABIs are.
Okay. Can we do that? It's not how I usually work.
That was I know my Ether wallet did that. That was why I was thinking about that.
Oh, I see. Okay.
All right. It looks like. I mean. Yeah, it looks like Remix might support this like a scenarios and things to run things, but so even if like with the ABI we probably could load it in, but I'm not sure exactly what we need to do that. So I think I'm gonna skip
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Okay. I don't usually work that way, so I'm a bit lost, and it's all new as well. The UI is all
Yeah, was that
pretty
like
and
within the last like month sort of thing?
it's fairly recent. Yeah, I think they've been trying to bring it in for a while, and I think they've made it
Cool. So
default.
at my Ether wallet, I just went use MetaMask, and it automatically came up with
Right.
with the inside thing. But now I need to figure out how to add. Dapps.
All right. I haven't looked at my Ether wallet for a while.
No, neither I. It seems like they've been developing it though, which is cool.
Yeah, it looks really schmick.
I am not sure how we're going to go with custom dApps though. Oops, that was not spelled right. I'm just going to go have a look at my crypto, because I know they had a lot of the same features, obviously. This looks like the old interface, which is at least what I know. My crypto doesn't support the network with chain ID, blah.
Oh, jeez.
So we got show other networks, add custom node.
Are you still recording?
Yep.
Maybe we should pause it. This is a bit of a boring part.
Yeah. I'm just gonna. Okay. Do that. Okay. So it seems like what you've got to do is add, like you've got to add a custom network with the chain ID, and then. Yeah, anyway, and then you can connect to MetaMask because it knows about the chain ID now. But I'm getting lots of network connectivity errors. So yeah, okay, I'm just going to pause and we'll figure this out. Okay, back.
So right, we're recording again?
Yep, recording again.
So, all right, what have you done here?
So the first thing is, yeah, we'll just go back out here. Can I get out of this? So up in here in the top right of my crypto, clicked on network. Where it says, it'll probably say like Ethereum Auto or something like that. And if you click on that, you get all of these, like this big list of, Ethereum, Ropsten, Coven, RSK, Aroma, Aquachain, Mix, Music Coin, etc., etc., etc. And then right at the bottom, there's Add Custom Node.
Okay.
So if we click on that, the first thing we should do is on the right-hand side here, it says Network. I've got the dark mode on, which is, I think, not good for the UI. There we go.
Not very well implemented. Okay.
So under there, again, we scroll all the way down to Custom.
Right, give it a funky name.
Yep, so the node name, I mean, we could go on Flux. Instead of using my local host, I'm going to use the public one this time, just for demonstration for people.
Right, I should be following along with you.
So in this case, there is eventually like a domain and stuff for these nodes that's behind a load balancer and gives HTTPS and things, but for the moment we'll just use their IP address. So we can just copy the opublic node 0 IP or opublic node 1 IP. That should both work.
Right, so there's the two public nodes on our server.
Yep. And then we just put in the URL, just HTTP like we would with any other node, but for that IP address.
Same port, 8545.
Yep, we can call the network whatever we'd like. I'm doing Flux 2 because I just already created Flux. That's fine. And then for the currency, I mean, Flux coins, it doesn't really matter, right? But the one that does is, where are we? Back over here, the network ID. So yeah, that big number, and that goes in our chain ID. Custom network can I share chain ID with Flux. So, or if I do this, maybe that'll work. Or actually, sorry, for you that's what you'd select, but for me I'll just select the one that I've already created.
Oh yeah, okay.
Otherwise it complains. So we
Yep.
can just go, use the node.
Right, you've already got one, so.
And I get another. Okay, so I've got a network error with connecting to the public node, but I can connect to my local node. I know you can use the public node because I've got it in MetaMask, if I can get back up there.
Okay, well let's just presume that you were able to connect to the public node.
Yep. So then the thing that we want to go to, or the URL that we want to be at this point, is you can find it under Tools and then Interact with Contracts. These network settings are saved, I presume, in local storage. from memory. But yeah, so if we hit interact with contracts, it'll take us to this URL.
I see. So you just need the address and the ABI.
Yep. So the address for the index we can find in what do you call it, on the blockchain info thing here. And where is it? It's there we go. Right in the middle. I lost it again. Anyway, so this was the one that I copied before, the 0x81. Into Discord, but we can find that there. I'm going to go paste that into contract. Now we need the ABI, and the place to get that is, so from the SB
It's a big ABI.
I mentioned that we had to split it up because we had too many like function interfaces. So anyway, yeah. So under SB Lights, I'll copy paste this link to you. But for anyone else, this is where you go, and then we want the SV index ABI, and that'll give us what do you call it in the GitHub interface. But we just hit raw, and that'll give us something a bit more copy pastable. Go over to MyCrypto, paste it in, and click access.
Yeah.
You still there, Max?
Yep.
Right.
So yeah, so I just used the get version function there to confirm that it was working, and the number 2 comes up.
Aha! So you have successfully connected to the contract.
Yep. One of the annoying things about the old MyEther wallet interface was that and thus MyCrypto, is they didn't let you like save functions easily or anything like that. I actually created a fork of MyEther wallet somewhere that had like our contracts in there particularly as like predefined ones, so you could much more easily do the thing. I'll have to dig that up because it'll make
cool.
any sort of troubleshooting or whatever easier. But this is the hardcore way. So what we can do, for example, is one of the earlier functions on my list is get BB farm, which is a good one. And then we've got a uint8 to put in there, and if we just put in 0, that will give us the address of the main ballot box farm there.
Okay. Alright, so that's the address of the ballot box farm.
Yep. What I'm just thinking, I'm going to open up more tabs for MyCrypto just so I can okay, and it automatically remembers the network, which is nice. But this way, I don't have to keep copy pasting different ABIs in as much. So with the ballot box farm, we can get the address of that, and then obviously we need the ABI for that one. And don't have a thing on it underneath, or it'll complain. And yeah, and then we get access to this guy, and then if I do get version, I get number 3. And then there is the badly named function do lockdown.
Do lockdown. Okay, that sounds like something you don't want to do.
Well, it's what you do if you want to decommission the ballot box farm. So obviously all of the votes and stuff that are linked there, they've sort of got to stay there, right? You don't want to delete them. So yeah, so what you do is you you essentially stop writing. You disable the write functionality, and it just sits there as an archive forevermore.
Yep. So you closed it for voting.
Closed it for vote creation, particularly.
Vote creation. Okay.
I can't remember off the top of my head if existing votes are closed, but definitely new ballots aren't able to be created.
Yep.
It also has some stuff with like there was an idea of like us sponsoring various things, or like whatever else, so you can have for a really populated or popular sort of token governance thing. You might have 10 community things per week, and they would need to be sponsored to be seen on the UI or something like that. We figured maybe we could create a sort of ecosystem that would be able to generate something, but yeah. Anyway.
Interesting idea.
So if we click on, say, for example, get vote, then you'll see that all of the various things come up. The inputs, which is ballot ID and vote ID. Vote ID is just a 0 onwards thing, but the ballot ID, as we've seen, is a somewhat complex thing.
Yeah, because that's related to the, what do you call it? The spec hash.
Yes. Yep. It was a cheap way to avoid collisions, essentially. There was another reason that we didn't just do integers, but I can't remember. In any case,
it makes sense.
So this is pretty boring at this stage, mostly because we don't have anything to vote on. So I guess that's probably our next step, right?
Okay, let's make something to vote on.
So the first thing that we'll need to do, we need to do maybe some prereq stuff to start with. Now, keeping in mind we've just been recording for 30 minutes, maybe we should pause this recording to break up the video and then...
yeah, okay.
Yeah, because some of the prereq stuff we'll need to do is not particularly interesting.
I'll probably have to stop soon anyway, actually. Got to get dinner on, but we can go for a bit longer.
All right, fair enough. Well, how about for the end of this one, we'll just talk about what we need to set up to get the next thing rolling.
Okay.
So the immediate thing would be we need an ERC20 thing. So I don't know if we want to write one. It's one of those things where it's, well, we don't want to write one, but oh, this is not already.
Okay, so we need to create an ERC20 token.
Well, actually, I'm just thinking about it. We don't. We need it to count votes, but we don't need it now. It's just a thing that you put in when you're creating a thing. So a democracy. Sorry, a thing when you're creating a thing. So why don't we just...
creating a thing.
Yeah, no, I'm just skipping over all the words there that contain all the details. So somewhere around in this list will be a creating a democracy thing function.
Alright.
DInit is the thing.
Aha, D for democracy.
So I'll just copy in the address of the index there.
Oh, where'd you get that from?
This address?
Yeah.
That's like right here. It's the address of the contract of the index.
Itself is going to be the ERC20.
Well, from memory, I'm trying to remember whether we actually use an ERC20 interface to actually pick out any, like the name of the token or the 3-letter thing, or the decimals, whether we pick any of that out now, because if we don't, then we can use any old address, and if we do, then the thing will fail. So it is, yeah.
Okay, so I didn't quite follow that. But if you put in did you just put in any old address, or is it that that contract actually does implement the ERC20 interface?
I'm fairly certain the index does not implement the ERC20 interface.
Okay, so you just put something in there to put something in there.
Exactly.
Okay.
It might complain otherwise.
Hey.
This
Pretty sure we're still online.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, oh, I've reconnected now, and I've removed all of your...
Thanks a bunch.
Thingy. Alright, let's see if I can do this real...
What?
Alright. I'm gonna find the previous, like, my Ether wallet fork that we had, and we can use that next time, because this is getting a bit painful.
Alright. Alright, well, this is a good start. So we've connected to the network, we have connected to
if you want, by
the
way,
contracts, and we're able to interact with them. So it's a good start.
Do you wanna send a tiny amount of Ether back to me, just so we get like a both directions thing going?
Yeah, okay. You just sent me your address. That's good.
Yeah, I've got. I mean, this account looks like it's got what do you call it? A lot of ether. But if I find yeah, I mean, I have maybe a little um, a little stashed away. So don't worry about sending me any. Actually, I can send you like just wait. That was 6580 was yours, wasn't it? Yeah.
I'm going to send you some ether. Done.
Okay. Do we get the block message?
It says it's confirmed.
So got sent ether, sent ether. I don't have any received ether. I don't think.
Oh, whoa!
You got
someone just sent me a million ether.
Yeah, no, that was me. That was sorry. That was the joke I made with like the other account that I have is on this. So where is it?
Thanks, buddy.
I mean, yeah, you can see I've got a few to spare.
You do. That's good. So yeah, I sent you 7.777.
So I don't see it in the that was to the like 0x50.
Yes. Hang on. That's my account.
I thought 0x65 was your account. That's what I just sent.
0x658 is my account, and I just sent some money to 5035, etc., etc.
Okay. Oh no, I must have it here because I like I'm on 97.77 ether. I've only sent like multiples of 1 and 10 and stuff.
There you go. That's why.
So it is there. It's
It's
just that what do you call it? MetaMask is not showing the history correctly. I don't know if there's like a refresh.
Well, if you maybe just close the window and open again. Just close that. Yeah. Now try.
It
It's odd.
There's a pop out thing, isn't there, with MetaMask?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the Chrome store thing. I don't know, maybe a mystery for another day.
Whatever.
Or here, expand view. So yeah, it's odd. It definitely like sees the balance. But
Can I see the? I can't see the transaction ID either for some reason. They hide that.
Oh, I've got a thing down here. Imported 31 plus one other block containing 0 TXs. Transaction mined 32. Yeah, so I'm not getting the, what do you call it? The bad block thing now. So I don't know what's going on with that timestamp issue, but it seems like all the other nodes are communicating fine. Oh, that's the transaction ID, is it?
Yeah, just for your interest, if you want to track it down.
Yeah, no. Well, I was thinking like remix. Might be the that'll have a thing. But anyway.
I might have a play with Remix and see whether I can access these contracts with it.
Yeah, so that should be fine. If I find the, what do you call it? That MyEther thing, which I think is like just on Netlify or something, so it should still be up. Then yeah, I'll send it through because it makes it a lot easier.
Cool.
All right, cool.
All right, Max, great.
Sweet.
Good little session.
Yeah.
And we could maybe do another one tomorrow if you're up for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me know. And
All right.
cool. I'll catch you then.
Okay, mate.
Cheers.
Bye for now.